Good morning and welcome back to Field 1 here at Palmasola as we get ready for the first of three in this weekend series between the Manatee Squeeze and the Manatee Sea Cows. A lot of Manatee action here in this battle, and again, it's a three-game series, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The Squeeze come in just narrowly off the pace in the FGCL as we pull up the standings, sitting at 7-2 overall this summer, and just behind the Queens and Aquanauts. The Sea Cows are right smack dab in the middle at 4-4, trying to break some of that logjam in the middle portion of the FGCL standings. Glad that you're with us here on the ACL live stream. Gray Robertson along with producer Gracie, and here's the starting lineup for the 4-4 Manatee Sea Cows. Leading off is the left fielder Allie Bordwine. Vela Mansfield, the right fielder, bats second. Reagan Wheatley is hitting in the 3 spot and catching. Taylor Rogers is playing first and batting fourth. Bree Urban, the third baseman, will hit fifth. Brooke Watson is pitching today. She's batting sixth. Gabby Bonilla, the second baseman, hits seventh. Allie Bunch, the center fielder, is batting eighth. Coco Jaimes, the shortstop, bats ninth. And Rayleigh McKinney, the extra hitter today, hits 10th. And they will face in the circle for the Squeeze Channa Wolf. Wolf currently looking for a new home from Mid-Am Christian. A 9.59 ERA this summer, 1-2 record, 15 and a third innings, 29 hits, 21 runs all earned, 2 walks and 12 strikeouts. And Bordwine will step in and take a first pitch strike. We're off and running here at Field 1. Getting started just 4 minutes past 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Misses 1-1. Bordwine currently in the portal, coming from Oklahoma Baptist. Give your numbers after this. So that's slapped foul. Allie, 3 of 15 this summer, 200 average with an RBI, 2 runs scored, OBP at 235. Slap foul again, and almost caught by Brett over in the third base coaching box, head coach for the Sea Cows, and nearby State College of Florida, where I'm basically getting my mail forwarded to at this point. I spent a lot of time yesterday at that field. Producer Gracie is here. I'm Gray Robertson. Glad that you're with us here this morning. And Bordwine chases, strikeout for Wolf. I'll start things off with a K here in the first. Defensive alignment for the Squeeze. Lacey St. Jean in left, out in center. You've got Dieter, Crushes in right. Hubbard at third, St. Jean at short, Martineau at second, Suggs at first, Massengale behind the plate. And a first pitch ball to Vela Mansfield. Another one who is currently on the hunt for a new home out of St. John's River State College previously. Two 2-0 on Mansfield. 1 of 13 this summer with an RBI. Has walked twice. 2-1. Two and two. It is a hot one today. And we're not even at the hot part yet, but you can just feel it's a very still day. There is no wind out here. Bright, sunny. There are few clouds. It's getting sticky as Mansfield fouls that off. And I, of course, have decided to wear a dark shirt today, which will work well, I think. Maybe not. Maybe Britt will bring me a lemonade or something. Tough day for the tea people not to be here. 2-2. It's low in the dirt. Now the payoff misses for ball 4. So Mansfield takes the walk. That's her third of the summer. And in steps another portaler, Reagan Wheatley. First pitch misses in. Charleston, South Carolina native. Freshman last year for Norfolk State. I need to talk to Reagan about my trip up to Charleston and see if she, too, has to pay $1 million for parking downtown. 1-1 on Wheatley. Three of 15 this summer with 3 RBIs. One homer, 1 run scored. Back to the circle. And the throw to second was a little high, but there's the double play. Channa Wolf starts it off, and the 1-6-3 will end the inning. So good job by Wolf erasing that 1-out walk. We go to the bottom of the first, and the Squeeze offense will get their first crack at it when we return. Here is the starting lineup for the Manatee Squeeze, coached by Taylor Newton. 7-2 here on the summer. Maddie Hubbard will lead things off. She's the third baseman. Lillian Martineau, the second baseman, is batting second. Hitting in the 3 spot, first base, Dylan Suggs. Elise Crescio, the right fielder, is cleaning up. Lacey St. Jean is playing left, batting fifth. Haley Dieter, the center fielder, hits sixth. Brooke Massengale, the catcher, bats seventh. Hubbard pulls back the bunt. As we finish up a lineup, Lily St. Jean, the shortstop, hits eighth. Taryn Massey, the DP, bats ninth. And in the circle is Brooke Watson out of Chattanooga State. Gets a chase there, 1-1. Watson from Chattanooga told me the other day she's kind of been in Chattanooga her entire life. Freshman last year for Chattanooga State. Has thrown 2 innings this summer, nothing except 2 walks on the ledger. Hubbard sends that way up in the air on the infield. Catch is made by Jaimez for the first out. Lillian Martineau, portaling from Georgia Tech, will step in now. First pitch high. Martineau, like I mentioned, currently looking for a new home, and she's made quite the impression here this summer. 6 of 14 for a .429 average with 4 RBIs. And she's got a big hit out to left. Martineau says goodbye. First home run of a summer for Lillian Martineau. And the Squeeze get on the board first. A good piece of hitting by Martineau. Just got all of it. That's the first hit given up by Watson here this summer. And now we reset with another portaler, Dylan Suggs. Strike one to the previous Campbell Camel. Suggs this year hitting .250, 5 of 20 with 4 RBIs, a home run, 1 run scored. She has walked 4 times, so .375 OBP. One and two. Oh boy. Our home plate umpire seems to think it's a 3-2 count. It's 2 and 2. Producer Gracie and I both had 2-2. But Suggs will take the walk. So base runner after the home run, which sets up Ducky, the Oregon Duck, Elise Crescio. First pitch high. Crescio, 6 of 16, .375 average. 4 RBIs, 1 double, 12 runs scored. She's walked 5 times, .565 on-base percentage for Crescio. And she's going to add to it. Nice piece of hitting on an elevated pitch out to the gap. Suggs stumbled, and she will slide in safely at third base. And she let everybody know, quote, "I'm safe, but I fell, but I'm safe." It's a double for Crescio. Second and third, 1 out. Now Lisi St. Jean takes ball 1. St. Jean coming from NC State to James Madison. Sends that towards a car. Not mine. Haha. 1 and 1. Lisi's also kind of been raking here this summer. 10 of 22. .455 average. 4 RBIs. 3 doubles. 4 runs. The Squeeze offense as a whole hitting .373. That's off of Watson, and she is not able to get up quickly. A run will score, but more concerned about Brooke. Brooke Watson taking a walk after the RBI single by Lisi St. Jean. I think she'll toss a few pitches. Watson's all good. Have I mentioned that Brooke and I have a bit of a pickleball rivalry going that might include very soon producer Gracie?
She said she'd be my partner, so.
All right. Haley Dieter, runners on the corners, and Dieter will get hit by the first pitch. Bases loaded, 1 out. As we have maybe the most adorable bat girl in the history of the world coming out and getting the bat from Dieter and setting up the portaling Brooke Massengale. Previously from East Carolina. Massengale with a chance to really put a dent. She'll take strike 1. 8 of 23, that's a .348 batting average for Massengale. 4 RBIs, a triple, 3 doubles, and 5 runs scored. But down 0-2. Now the 0-2 from Watson. Missed, 1-2. Massengale sends it to center. That's down. This will score 1 run. St. Jean will stay at third. 3-0 squeeze. And there goes Super Batgirl. As Lily St. Jean tries to continue the base runner brigade here in the first. Strike 1. Lily St. Jean out of Villanova, Lisi's older sister. 10 of 20 here this summer with 7 RBIs, a triple, a double, and 7 runs scored. .615 on base percentage. Watson ahead 0-2. Foul. St. Jean out towards right field. This is tracking all the way off the fence. 1 run comes in. Dieter will race for home. She'll score, and that's a 2 RBI double for Lily St. Jean. 5-0 squeeze here in the first. Now out of NC State, here's Taryn Massey. Massey, first pitch out towards center field. Should be deep enough for Massengale. Catch is made. Massengale will race for home and score. St. Jean moves to third. 6-0 now. on the sac fly by Taryn Massey. And back comes Maddie Hubbard, who popped out earlier in this inning, so you know she doesn't want to be 2 of the 3 outs. You never want to be 2 of the 3 outs, right, Gracie? Have you ever been 2 of the 3 outs, Gracie?
Not that I can remember.
She says no. That is heading out of play. Hubbard entered this game hitting .450 with 5 RBIs. That's in the air out towards left, and this should end the inning. Catch made by Boardwine, and we go to the second. 6 runs in for the Squeeze. Seacals will try and answer when we come back. We go to the second. 6-0 Squeeze here on field 1. And now the Seacals will try and climb back with Rogers, Urban, and Watson against Channa Wolf here in inning number 2. Starting off with Bria Urban, out of Omaha, from Omaha. I wonder if Omaha Steaks, like from the company that sends them out, is that actually Omaha based, or do they get the steaks from Omaha and ship them from wherever they're located? I'll ask Bria Urban later, who's on deck. Taylor Rogers is at the plate right now, and she fouls that one off. Two and one on the portaling Rogers, previously of Mercer. That's foul. 2 and 2. Rogers 4 of 18 this summer, 222 average, 3 RBIs, a double, 1 run. Laced to short, caught by St. Jean. 1 down. Here comes Urban now. I wonder if maybe she heard us. She can tell us her thoughts. So Urban, the Omaha native, 4 of 18 here this summer with 2 RBIs, a homer, 3 runs. As always, when I'm on the game, I want to hear from you, so you can tweet me at Gray, Gray_Robertson. Let us know where you're watching, how you're tuning in. We'll shout you out. We'll read your tweet. If you want to Facebook message me as well, that's fine. Instagram DMs are wide open. Three and one on Urban. Channel Wolf going to work. Now with a pretty large cushion, so that's fouled away. Over on the other field, they're in the top of the second, no score. Aquanauts and River Mocs. But let's see, it's been 30 minutes. That means they had base runners for sure over there, just no runs yet. Ball 4 as Wolf came a little bit too far inside, and Urban takes the free pass. Third walk of the summer for Bree. Now Brooke Watson can help her own cause. Starting pitcher today, I have Chattanooga State. Take strike 1. Brooke, 7 of 18, 389 average with 4 RBIs, a double, 4 runs scored. Quickly 0-2. And Watson goes after the changeup. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Wolf. Channa got the change today. Gabby Bonilla, portaling from South Carolina State, bloops that foul. Oh, 1 on Bonilla, who's 1 for 9 this summer with a run scored. She has walked 6 times, so a lot of plate appearances, and a .467 on-base percentage. Went high and away, 2-1. Bonilla, part of the portal workout that happened yesterday, which was a lot of fun. Got to see actually a lot of these kids in this game come work in front of some coaches. Many coaches that we know from various Power 4 schools and Florida area schools. And I didn't see what happened. It seemed like Wolf got a little bothered by something. Looks like Wolf says she's okay.
Yes, sir. 2-2.
So now, Wolf ready for the 2-2. I think Massengale told her she didn't go, so no ass down, full count. There's the strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Wolf. And she zoomed through 2 innings without much damage at all. 6-0 squeeze. Their offense, which has done a lot of damage already, will come back out. Martineau fouls off the first pitch she sees, 0-1. Martineau, Suggs, and Crusho due up here in the bottom of the second. 6-0 squeeze. Now 0-2. Brooke Watson back out in the circle. And the 0-2 is hammered out to center and just over the head of the center fielder, Bunch. Double for Martineau. That's a leadoff two-bagger for the squeeze. Here comes Suggs. Dylan Suggs has walked and scored in this game. That is hit high but foul. For Martineau, that is her first double. So first homer and first double of the summer for Lillian. Now she's hitting .500 here in the FGCL. That one misses for ball one, 1-1. So 1-2 count on Suggs. Oh, misses low and in. 2-2. Another foul ball. That one right into a tree right behind us. Another foul ball. And another. Look at this battle. Suggs versus Watson. Part I'm sure Brooke doesn't like. I think she's over 40 pitches now for the game. 41. Thank you, producer Gracie. Another 3-2 to Suggs. Crushed. That's a no-doubter. Dylan Suggs to a different zip code. 2-run homer, 8-0 squeeze. Wow. That was zoinked, demolished, hammered, smashed, crushed, whatever you prefer. Now first pitch, strike to Elise Crescio, who doubled earlier. Out to center field. Crescio off the fence. I think she's got to hold it. Yep, she'll stay at first. And now first pitch ball to Lisi St. Jean, who had an RBI single earlier. Tries it again. This time 1-1. One and two. Slap to the pitcher. Watson's got the throw to second for one. Too much speed for St. Jean. So she reaches. No double play, but there is one down. There comes Haley Dieter, who was hit by a pitch and scored back in the first inning. She'll take it for ball one. Currently in the portal, previously from Utah, Haley Dieter started her career at Liberty. Liberty. Caught it short, and this will be an easy double play. Jaimez helps out her pitcher. That's a nice bit of defensive glove work by Coco to end the second. But Dylan Suggs with a monster two-run homer. And it's 8-0 going to the third. Sea Cows need some runs when we come back. New pitcher in the circle for the squeeze as we go to the third. And it is the lefty out of Liberty, Kaylin Yoder. Yoder this summer cooking with a 3.82 ERA, 11 innings, 1-0 record, 6 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 10 walks, 15 Ks. Facing the bottom of the order, 8, 9, 10 for the Sea Cows. And a first pitch ball to the portaling Allie Bunch, previously of Barton. 4 of 16, 250 average with an RBI and 3 runs. 400 OBP thanks to 4 walks. One and two. Chana Wolf, 2 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 3 Ks. Good stuff from Mid-Am Christian product Chana Wolf, who is currently on the hunt for a new home. One, two. That got away from Yoder. 2 and 2. In the air towards right field. And moving over to make the catch is Crescio. That was a good barrel by Bunch. Got something elevated. Sent it opposite way, but Crescio was able to corral it. Now Coco Jaimez at a UCF will step in. Riverside, California native. She'll take strike 1. Jaimez, 4 of 18 this summer with 2 RBIs and 3 runs. 333 OBP. Quickly 0 and 2. Over on the other field, scoreboard update. Top of the third, still 0-0. Mocs and Aquanauts. The River Mocs are kind of hot right now. Full count. Something just happened over there. I think the Aquanauts just took a lead. Jaimez battling with Yoder. And Yoder wins. Swing and a miss for out number 2. Oh, yeah. MVP Caroline Patterson, 2-run homer for the Aquanauts. She is making a case for back-to-back. We've never had back-to-back MVPs before. Riley McKinney trying to turn the lineup over against Kalen Yoder at a Southeastern. McKinney hitting .421 this summer, 8 of 19. 4 RBIs, a triple, a double, and 5 runs for Rayleigh. Two one. Rise ball got the swing and miss. 2-2. Yoder's got really good up movement, as we've talked about at times this summer. Of course, had her big moment in the College Station Regional against Texas A&M. Got the final strikeout to secure one of the biggest upsets we've seen in the NCAA tournament for Liberty. And Yoder's bringing the heat today. Back-to-back strikeouts. And the Squeeze will look to add to an 8-0 lead in the bottom of the third. Bottom of the order, 7-8-9 for the Squeeze. Massengale, St. Jean, and Massey. And then back to the top with Hubbard. 8-0 here in the bottom of the third. Watson back out. Facing Brooke Massengale, who takes the first pitch out towards right center, and it'll drop off the glove of Bunch, and Massengale's thinking 3. She could go home, but she'll stay there. And that'll be a leadoff triple for Brooke Massengale here in the third. And they're going to run for her. Lacey St. Jean. With Lily at the plate. First one misses from Watson. Lily St. Jean has a 2 RBI double in this game. Foul. That'll be off the roof. 2-2. Lily St. Jean has previously played here in the FGCL. Villanova Wildcat, who was all Big East, unanimous in 2024. And she's going to drive in a run here. Catch made out and right, but that'll certainly do the job. Sac fly makes it 9-0. That's a 3 RBI day for Lily St. Jean. Now to Taryn Massey, who's also got a sac fly. First pitch misses for ball 1. Massey 10 of 26 entering today, and it's still the case. She now has 9 RBIs with 2 homers and a triple. Out of NC State. It's off towards the other field. One and two. Of course, this is the first of 3 here on this field. And in case you're curious, hey, you might be sitting there going, "What's next, Gray? What could possibly happen on this field after this?" I got a lot to let you know about. Coming up at noon, I think this is probably the best series of the weekend. It'll be the Queens and the Slice. Can the Slice offense, always dangerous, get to the Queens pitching staff? And at 2:30, Circus and Skeeters, which will be a lot of fun. Watson gets the chase from Massey, and there's the strikeout for the second of the inning. And back to the top of the order with Hubbard, who's 0 for 2. So an interesting connection between these two. Maddie Hubbard from the University of Alabama, member of #BamaU, as I flash the U to Gracie only. Crushed foul. And in the circle is Brooke Watson, whose cousin is Maddie's teammate, Brea Hodges, at Alabama. So, Brea, if you're watching, what's up? Wish you were here. Two and two on Hubbard, Huntsville, Alabama native. Part of an Alabama team that I think is going to be really good 2026. A lot of people are kind of sleeping on the Tide. Which is fine, honestly. Knowing some of the people in the building, I think they're cool with that. Count out Bama. It's always a bold strategy. Payoff to Hubbard, and she smashes it to center and gone. Boom Bama, Maddie Hubbard. 10-0 squeeze here in the third. Maddie Hubbard bringing that trademark Maddie joy in on the home run celebration with now her 6th RBI this summer and her first home run. And we'll be sending that to the staff later. Now here's Lilia Martineau, who, by the way, has been outstanding today. She'll take the first pitch high. Martineau with a solo homer and a double. She scored twice. And that will sneak through up the middle. Just a high bounding chopper. And Martineau is a triple short of the cycle, which I feel like we've said every day in one of these games. Somebody's been close. So now with 2 outs, here's Suggs, who's already launched a homer in the second. This time, she sends it just to center field. It'll stay in the yard, and that's the end of the inning. But the Squeeze add 2 more. Sac fly from Lily St. Jean and a homer from Maddie Hubbard. And we go to the 4th. 10-0. Sea Cows need some runs fast. Allie Boardwine will lead off against Kaylin Yoder. Strike 1 to Allie, the portaling leadoff here today for the Sea Cows. Boardwine, Mansfield, Wheatley against Kaylin Yoder. After Channel Wolf got the start. Off the top of the fencing, 1 and 2. They're also top 4 over there. 2-0 on field 2, Aquanauts and Mocs. Right now, this game in run rule territory, so the Sea Cows need to find at least 3 runs and stop the Squeeze from scoring in the next 2 innings of offensive work. Tough to do when Yoder is moving it like she is right now. That rise ball looks really jumpy today. In fact, I'd expect to see it here. Fouled off, 1 and 2, yet again. Boardwine takes it low and in, 2 and 2. I'd do like a hitting expose maybe with Gracie, producer Gracie leading the way. Got her. Just velocity right there from Yoder. 3rd straight strikeout, 1 down here in the 4th. Now Vela Mansfield, who walked in the 1st inning. Ball 1. Squeeze at 8 and 2. Right now we got kind of a log jam at the top of the standings. One and 1. So Squeeze 7 and 2, looking to get to 8 and 2. The Queens are at 8 and 1. If the Queens were to lose to the Slice, then both those teams would be tied at 8-2, and if the Knots were to hang on and win, they would move into first place, sitting at 7-1 right now. It's where kind of the math created by rainouts stinks. Sea Cows at 4-4, along with the Mocs and the Impact. Nice. 2-1 to Mansfield. 2-2. And Yoder is going to get a 4th straight strikeout. 2 gone here in the inning. Reagan Wheatley, who hit into a double play in the first. Off speed misses. Wheatley in the portal. She also got a good bit of work in the portal workout yesterday. I've enjoyed getting to know Reagan quite a bit here this summer. That's what I love, talking to the players, getting to hear their stories. When you've got 150 plus people, everybody's got something interesting. And they've all had different journeys to get here. College, high school, hear about their hometowns. I would be curious if I asked Reagan if she's eaten at some of the restaurants I enjoyed last weekend, because there were many in the Charleston area. Yoder trying to keep up the strikeout streak. Full count. Payoff from Yoder. All the way back. That's ball 4. She kind of uncorked that one a little bit too much, and it's 2-out base runner for the Sea Cows. Setting up Taylor Rogers, who lined out to short in the second. Also in the portal. Out of Mercer. Strike 1. They're going to run for Wheatley. I believe that's McKinney. Yoder, the 0-2 high. And if McKinney decides to take off, I would do so with a little bit of thought because of how good the arm is behind the plate. McKinney's got 8 stolen bases, but Massengale's hosed a couple people. That and popped foul. Now, if McKinney's going to go, you got to commit, but I'm just not sure I want to run on Brooke Massengale based on the evidence. She's kind of making a bit of a case for a defensive award or two. On the ground to second. Martineau's there, and that'll end the inning. One runner left stranded, but that's it. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Squeeze a look to pile on, up 10-0. Elise Crescio hits that towards left field to start off the bottom of the fourth. And one pitch, one out. And Crescio kind of knew off the bat that wasn't doing what she wanted. It's Crescio, St. Jean, and Dieter against Brooke Watson, who's trying to give her team a shot in the top of the fifth. Lacey St. Jean, RBI single and a fielder's choice here in this game. That is slap checked into foul ground. Let's see if anybody's tweeted us. Let's say you, producer Gracie. Remember, at Gray, GRAY_Robertson. Nothing on Twitter. I'll check the other DMs. St. Jean slapped to short. Oh, it's bobbled and dropped by Jaimes. E6 all the way. That's a tough break. Coco's been excellent on defense all summer, but I think just was thinking about the throw before she'd even fully gloved it. First pitch ball to Haley Dieter. Off goes St. Jean. She's going to be safe. 1-1 count on Haley Dieter. We do have a Facebook message from Dwayne Hubbard, Monty's dad. Pointed out that top trio, Aquanauts, Squeeze, and Queens, they've all beaten each other up. They've all beaten each other. Nice cycle of results. Squeeze beat the Knots. Knots beat the Queens. Queens beat the Squeeze. And with a single limb postseason, it feels like anything is on the table once we get to the playoffs. I don't know who's going to win this year. 3-1 on Dieter. Haley Dieter to deep right, and way gone. Icing on the cake, a 2-run homer here in the fourth. 12-0 Squeeze. I'm sure very exciting to Taylor Newton, the head coach for the Squeeze, over in the third base coaching box. Played at JMU. Now talking to some of our players. Just an offensive onslaught today by pretty much everybody, including Brooke Massengale. RBI single and a triple for her here in this game. For Haley Dieter, it's her second home run. As I do the math now, she's got 10 RBIs. And I would say it leads the team, but I think it's tied for the lead with now Lily St. Jean, who's got 10 as well. Here's the thing. It was pretty even coming into today, and like everybody's had an RBI, so not much in the RBI lead department has switched. Three and one. And there's ball four, so Massengale will head to first. We are also, by the way, and I have to say it, in the midst of a situation. It would be a combined situation as Crescio comes to run for Massengale. But just something we got to keep in mind. That got away. Crescio will take second on the wild pitch. So Lily St. Jean had to back out. 1 for 1 with a 2 RBI double and a sac fly RBI. Right now, Brooke Watson just trying to get out of this inning. St. Jean towards right, and that'll slope away from Mansfield. And now Crescio's heading for home. Play at the plate. Got her. St. Jean reaches second after the single. And there's 2 gone. That gets away. St. Jean will take third. Massey is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a sacrifice fly. Massey from Roxborough, North Carolina, out of Person High School. This is gonna stay in play and be caught in foul ground. Side retired, but the Squeeze creeping closer to a win. They need 3 outs, not just to end the ball game, but to get a little FGCL history as well. See if they can do it with the Sea Cows coming back up, needing 5 runs to extend the ball game here on Field 1. 5, 6, 7 for the Sea Cows. They need 5 runs here in the inning to avoid the run rule loss. Squeeze have controlled it since the jump and a 6-run first. Urban, first pitch out towards right. In foul ground, Crescio will track it down for the first out. Channel Wolf got the start, went 2 innings. Nothing except a walk, or I should say 2 walks and 3 Ks. Yoder's walked 1 in her 2 innings plus of relief. Brooke Watson, late there, 0-1. Watson struck out earlier. There is Brett Sauerwein, head coach at SCF, over in the third base coaching box. Oh and 2. Good hold on the rise by Watson, 1 and 2. Noon is the start time currently for our next game. Be Queens and Slice. Buckle up. Going to be a good one. 1-2 from Yoder. Got her. 5th strikeout for Yoder. And the Squeeze are an out away. Gabby Bonilla will try and extend it. She struck out in the second. Oh and 1. The 0-2 from Yoder misses high and away. Now the 1-2. That'll do it. Kalen Yoder puts the finishing touches on a combined no-hitter. Channel Wolf, Kalen Yoder don't give up a single base hit, and the Squeeze win it 12-0 in 5. An offensive onslaught and excellent pitching, and the Squeeze take it in Game 1 of this series. They'll move into prime position in the FGCL standings at 8-2. The Sea Cows will drop to 4-5, and they will have another battle tomorrow here on this very same field. Game 2 of the series on Friday will be at 2:30, so some time off for both teams as they recalibrate. But the Squeeze claims some history, a combo no-hitter. Channel Wolf and Kalen Yoder, both in the circle, get it done, and the offense was just incredible all day long. That'll do it for us from here at Field 1. For producer Gracie, I'm Gray Robertson. Thank you so much for hanging out with us as the Squeeze win it 12-0. We'll see you in about an hour for a big one, Slice and Queens, here on Field 1.